Awesome. So guys, one of the important points is that these are recorded and they go live the same day now. So by the end of today, they'll actually be on the knowledge base. So if you have someone in the team that wasn't able to make the live one, you can say, hey, you can tune in and jump on and grab hold of it. Guys, today we're going to talk specifically about, we had a fantastic session last week with Fiona Blaney, which was brilliant. Today we're going to focus in on an important part of your role right now, and that is how are you dealing with difficult people, the problem-solving capability to come into play. So we're going to go through the 6-step process of problem solving, and then literally hand over to you guys to have a chat about what are you finding in the marketplace, what's working for you, what's on the clunky side, and start to really brainstorm and mastermind some cool things from there. So let me bring up some PowerPoints for you, and we'll jump into it. Well, that's a really small PowerPoint. Let's see if it gets bigger here right now. Yes, it does. Okay, so Mastermind, here we come. In terms of today, we know, guys, that we get paid for problems, and there's no question there's an increased number of problems that are occurring at the moment. So how do you get from the problem to the solution? Because the sooner you get to the solution, the heat, the emotional stress comes out of it, not only for you, but also for clients. And the more people feel there is a solution, the better able we are to cope with it. So there is something in marketing called complaint marketing. So it's interesting when you talk about complaint marketing, and there's been some amazing research done on this that shows when someone has a complaint and it's handled better than what I expected it to have been, then my loyalty for you and for the business actually increases. I know it sounds crazy. And they did this interesting test with a software company, and they had 200 in the test, 100 that didn't have a problem and 100 that did have a problem. Now, I'm not suggesting we throw more problems at you, because I know you've got enough coming at you right now. But the 100 that didn't have the problem, they rated their service before the issue and after the issue, but they didn't have a problem. And then they effectively put a bug into the software that they knew the day and the time and who was going to call them around it. So they were able to resolve it rapidly and address that particular issue. That was fascinating, because when they addressed the issue with these particular clients, what ended up happening, their before and after value and loyalty for the business actually increased based on this. So I know this is a challenging time for you guys, but when you think about it, problem to solution, the way that we actually get people to that solution means that they take on board a level of fulfillment and value that we're creating in the process. So that's what we're heading to in terms of today, giving you some capability that not only will serve you for now, but it will serve you for the rest of your real estate career, really. So being a problem solver is what we're really focused on in terms of today. So the first step is to tune in and listen, to stop what we're doing and tune in and listen. The second thing is to empathize, to literally step into their shoes. From there, we're going to ask and clarify what the issue is and what the set of circumstances are, and particularly with the rent relief that's being requested at the moment, that ask and clarify is an important step. Then we're going to suggest, we make some recommendations and some suggestions in the process. And once we've made those suggestions, we're going to get an agreement from the client that we're going to move forward. And then the final one, I call this the big FU, and that is follow up to make sure that it's actually complete and holistic. So that's the process, okay? Nice and simple and focus with it. What we're now going to do, guys, is step through each one of those and put some strategy behind each of them. And in doing that, give you an even greater framework to be able to come through with it. Okay. So step one is to tune in and listen, okay? Tune in and listen. So a couple points that I've covered in about a month ago with you is you've got to stop what you're doing and focus on the call or on this particular issue. Too often, particularly in property management, guys, we use it where we're, and if you can just, I'll just jump out of this and show you. You can't do it obviously if you're on a Zoom because people can see, but you can do this like, I'm not the computer by the way, and we're not actually in the conversation. One of the most important things from a problem solving point of view is to be able to stop and do this. I know you guys, and there's a lot of females on the line right now who turn around and say, I can multitask. In actual fact, we stop and start things. So the ability to stop what we're doing and focus is incredibly important. The next thing from here, guys, is you've got to remember the 30-second rule. And that is people can only rant and rave for 30 seconds if they are uninterrupted. But if you interrupt me in that first 30 seconds, it is like you have just delivered rocket fuel that will allow me to keep going and going. And importantly, remember, it is not personal. So, last week, I loved Fiona talking about the bubble, being in the bubble and recognizing that you're dealing with an issue, but you're not allowing the emotional energy to arrive to you. You've got to think in terms of sensitive clients. So I've got a sensitive client on the phone right now. So they're sensitive. Don't use the words, I've got a bitter and twisted, difficult little nya on the phone. I won't throw it into this recording, but you get the idea. If you focus on their sensitive, because that's exactly where they are, it actually helps enormously with it. And also remember sea breeze, guys. So sea breeze is imagining that things are blowing by you as opposed to landing in you. So that means, and I'll just simply show you the gesture. What I'm imagining is someone comes in, they've got some energy, it's not personal, but if we take it on board personally, we can do this. We can go bang, 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 bang. And that's sort of hitting us, as opposed to the bubble Fiona talked about last week. The sea breeze means it's blowing by us. So we see it there, we're aware of it, it's not personal, we've applied the 30-second rule, and we've actually allowed people to blow past us. This is the first and important step in the process of getting onto the right page. So we're all good with that, guys? Quick thumbs up. Can you show me thumbs up? You guys know how to do thumbs up? Okay, can I get a quick thumbs up? Can you show me thumbs up? A lot of you guys don't have video on. What's going on?
Thumbs up.
Okay, now we're seeing thumbs up. You have the... I love it.
Thumbs up.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well done, guys. Much appreciated. Phew. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was getting concerned there for a little bit. So let's now head from here into step 2 in the process. So we've stopped what we're doing, we've tuned in and we've listened. Now what we want to do is empathize with them. And empathize is really stepping into their shoes. I've got my shoes here. So you'd be stepping into my shoes if I was the client. The first thing is you don't have to be wrong to say you're sorry. Now, this helps me enormously in all aspects of my life. But you know what's interesting is I've had someone say, I remember this person in Perth, she stood up at a session and said, no, I don't believe we should apologize or admit fault or anything like that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, hey, I'm really sorry that you're in this particular situation, or sorry to hear that's happened to you, or quite simply, hey, that's terrible from an inconvenience point of view, or finally, we don't want this for any of our clients. So this process obviously works brilliantly well, guys, for where we're at the moment in terms of dealing with the rent relief. But you get a sense that I've designed this process for you to utilize on an ongoing basis when you've got someone in that difficult situation. So this is a really important step in the process. And it's more than just going, like, hey, really sorry to hear that. Oh, sorry to hear that's happened for you. Hey, we wouldn't want this for any of our clients, which basically then allows us to jump in and ask and clarify. Now, if it's in a rent relief situation, that's definitely saying, hey, can I just walk you through the process? Because we need to clarify some key points. If it's a smaller issue, then you can do this in terms of on the fly, in a conversation or on a Zoom. By the way, the benefit I think we've got right now is you can have this process up on the wall somewhere so you can get great at this. I love the philosophy of 6 friends have I, which is, if you look at them, who, what, when, where, how, and why. So they're the 6 friends. 6 friends have I, who, what, when, where, how, and why. So we want to ask and clarify. The first thing is we want to play this seek first to understand before we're understood. Tell me more about that so that I can help you. Can I grab this additional information, or what would you like me to do now? Now, if it's a hot water system that's burst, please don't ask them, what would you like me to do now? That's pretty obvious with it. But if it's something that is not so obvious, what would you like me to do now from this point of view? So this is an easy step to do, guys, but too often what I see happening in property management, and I'm going beyond just what's occurring right now. Sorry, do you want to take a pic of that? Let me just bring it up back up. We'll get a pic of it. Oops, there we go. All right, pic time. Too often what I see happening in property management, and this may not be happening because you might have evolved beyond this, but so often we don't ask that one additional question that would allow us then to handle the issue much faster with the client. So in other words, we go from a tenant to a landlord and say, tenant's asked about this, and the landlord says, have they checked blah? Not sure, let me go and check. So then we're going back to the tenant and saying, have you checked blah? Yes, I have, and then we go back. As opposed to, let's get as full a picture as we possibly can. Clearly, you've got an application form or a knowledge, a data form in relation to the rent relief that's helping you enormously gather that particular information. Okay, so what have we done so far? We have stopped what we're doing. We've really focused in and tuned into the client. We've listened. We've empathized with them, and then we've asked and clarified what additional things that we needed to cover off on and so on. From here then, guys, we're going to come up with some recommendations or suggestions. So my idea is basically, so we're going to say, well, based on what we've discussed, here's the next step in the process. Here's my recommendation from here. Can I walk you through the process from here? Or I think the next step is, and remember to under-promise and over-deliver in that particular mode. So we look at that as a framework and say, all right, so based on what we discussed, I believe, here's my recommendation from here. Can I walk you through the process? I think the next step is, do you agree with that? And remember to under-promise and over-deliver. This is a simple step, but I just think what it allows you to do is to put forward, here's the recommendation, here's the suggestion. So we've stopped what we're doing. We've really focused in and listened. We've then empathized with them. We've asked and clarified, and then we're putting a suggestion forward from here. From there, guys, the next step in the process is get an agreement, okay? So the agreement quite simply is, are you okay with this? Is that okay with you? Do you agree on that? I think this is the best way forward. Here's what I'm going to do now. So as simple as that is, what you're saying is you're getting an agreement. Are you okay with this? Yes, I am. Is that okay with you? I love what Fiona said last week, talked about not something you're going to be happy with, but something that you can live with. So this could be an agreement that is not the ideal, but can you live with this for the next month, for the next 2 months, the next 3 months, whatever that actually might be from a timing point of view. But getting an agreement is really important with this. So we're up to step 5, the 6 steps in this particular process. Once again, guys, having these up on the wall somewhere, I think will really help you navigate through this in an effective way. And the final one is the big follow-up process. And what we want to do in the follow-up process is, firstly, own the issue until it's resolved. So, for example, we get agreement. We know we need to, with the rent relief, we need to get that documented, signed off by the landlord, signed off by the tenant, and on file, so it's signed off from you. Ask for support early if you're stuck. So if for example, there's something isn't going to plan, if the follow-up isn't working the way it is, then put your hand up. This is not a time for you to say, okay, I'm just going to sweep this one under the carpet. No. This is a time we need to actually say, I need some support on this. Action what needs to be done, obviously, and keep the clients in the loop. And finally, ensure that the issue has been resolved, okay? So you've got this a neat kind of framework to be able to help you through this particular process. So where have we come to? let me just go back to this framework one. This is effectively you being a great problem solver. And, you know, whether we like it or not, property management is about, we're paid to deal with problems and solve them as effectively as we possibly can. Now, the other little point that Fiona did talk about last week that I really, really loved is that it could be a situation that we might need to have 2 or 3 conversations. So I've framed this up as a one-off conversation, but we might get to the ask and clarify. They've got to do some additional documentation and come back to you. And then, okay, let me suggest this. We might then go to the landlord with some information, get an agreement, and then make sure we put the follow-up in place. So what do you think, guys? Healthy framework? Yeah? So what we're now going to do is I'm going to hand over to you guys into a mastermind and do 2 things. Number 1, obviously introduce yourself if you don't know each other from a mastermind point of view. 2, have a chat about this particular process. If you're utilizing this or something similar, that'd be great to give the guys feedback. And then talk about any other dialogues or tools or strategies you're utilizing that's actually making a difference for you right now, or streamlining or simplifying the process with that. So a chance for you to have a discussion. You've got about 10 minutes to do this, guys. So it's a really important time for you to tune in. If you haven't been to a breakout room before, there are 2 things you need to do. You need to click join to join the breakout room, point 1. And point 2 is then the other thing you need to do is to unmute your mic so people can actually hear you in the conversation. A lot of people don't have video on right now. I'm not sure why that is. It could be a bad hair day kind of issue that's happening along those lines. But look, for me, every day is a bad hair day. So get over it and get on with it from that point of view. Normally, I don't like to wear glasses, but therefore I can't see the chats and things going on in the process. When we come back from this, guys, what we'll do is we'll talk a little bit more about some of the key things that came out of your breakout rooms. And importantly from there, we'll also answer any other questions you might have around the process. All right, breakout rooms, here we go. And we're gonna go for, excellent. So enjoy the breakouts. Remember, you need to join them and unmute your mic. And you've got videos. I'm seeing videos of people now. That's so cool. All right, enjoy. Just click the join the breakout, guys, and away we go. To take on board that advice and hear from others and really start to move things forward is as simple as that is. It's super important. So if you have any people that you think, hey, I'd really love to hear from them, or I've got something that I'm doing great, tip it in. I know sometimes one of the challenges I've got with property managers is you've got more humility naturally than what the sales guys do, just so you know that I know that. But you are doing some great things, and it's important that you share those. Remember, guys, none of us are as smart as all of us. Matt, you want to say something?
I disagree with that. Sales people have a great sense of humour.
No, I didn't say humour. I said humility.
Well, you have that too. Come on.
That's a salesperson. I didn't even hear the word humility. I heard
managers. We also listen. We listen.
Oh, hang on. I gotta wrap this. This could go badly if I'm not careful. There's going to be a tag team approach.
Right, Michael.
So I was going to mute that person there. I don't know who that person is. Okay, very good. Phew. That's awesome. Hey, I'm going to take a pic and I'll put this up on the property management group. You guys look amazing. Let's go to the second screen. Oh, there's some of you here. There's not as many pictures on the second screen. Some of you have gone for video less from that point of view. So, guys, hey, really thank you for your attention, your value with this. The most important thing for me is if you guys jump into a debrief around this and say, how are we applying the 6 steps? What can we learn from this? And I think some of you might be saying, hey, we're really good at this step, but you know what? We're sort of missing this one a little bit. How would an upgrade look in that particular area? And what could that do to, one, speed up the process, create more client wow? And remember, guys, that complaint marketing side of things as to how we actually kick into the next level. Will this be online for members to view? Yes, Catherine, it will be. So this will go up online by the end of today. We've got an agreement. Advisory board said that yes, we'd like it online. So that means that you guys will be able to jump in. Do you know where that is, guys? Do you actually know where to find it and so on? Okay, why don't I just quickly show you that from here. Okay, let me just go and I'll share screen and show you where it is. So you all know RER Network. Let's jump into it. I'll need to log in because I haven't logged in this morning. So we'll jump in. What we've got here, guys, in online learning, you'll see these the MasterMind series here. So if we can go in here just to the PM MasterMind series, it will actually show you here all the ones we've done. Okay. Now, the other thing is we've got a team behind the scenes who are working on extracting sort of like checklists or tools or forms out of these. So, and they'll come through to you guys from that point of view. So would it be beneficial? Is that cool, Catherine? Where it is? So that's the easiest way to find it. And if you just click on MasterMind series overall, depending if you've got leader access, you'll see the leader ones. If not, you'll see the property management ones and the sales ones coming through. So there they all are. But if you want to go down to specific ones, just go into the PM, click on that, and there you go. It shows them in the order that they've actually been loaded. So the most recent one will be at the top for you guys to be able to jump in and do that. Okay. Awesome. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I think it's really important that you do the debrief. Would it be useful if we created a summary sheet of that being a problem solver for you guys, a one pager, and got that out to you? Okay, we'll get that onto the way to go. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for all the energy and effort you're putting in. I know how hard you guys are working and how much attention you're putting in per client in helping them navigate through the twists, the turns, the challenges that are coming on board. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. And all the best, huh?